that you had that you'd stole.
Welcome to lesson 3 of this series explaining how to use the terminal. In this video we will simply be editing files and then copy and move them. The program we will be using to edit files is Nano. It's very similar to another program called Pico, as in P-I-C-O. So if you don't find Nano on your system, don't despair and just try Pico instead. In fact, on my computer, the command Pico will actually start Nano. We will first edit an existing file. So I know that in my home directory, by the way, this symbol here actually means that you're in your home directory. So let's edit the test.sh file. So I'm just gonna write nano and then test.sh. Remember, you can use autocompletion. And now you can see that Nano is opened. And it's using Nano version 2.2.6, and we're looking at the file test.sh. You can see it. Nano has this nice feature called syntax highlighting, which is the reason why these things are shown in different colors. So you can then move around very normally in that file, and I'm just gonna add a new line here saying this is awesome. Right, now if you want to, I don't know, save the file, for instance, or exit, or print a help, you need to use these commands here. So if you want to save, you're actually going to use this write out function by pressing Ctrl O. This symbol here just means the Ctrl key on your keyboard. So you can either do that and save the file, or you can say press Ctrl X to exit, but before doing that it will ask you if you want to save your changes. So I'm now gonna press Ctrl X. Alright, it asks me if I want to save my changes. To do that, I just need to press on the letter Y. Don't type yes, just type the letter Y, because as soon as you will do that, you will see that it will display something else, which is what's the file name you want to write. And by default, it's going to be the same as the one you opened. So if you just press the enter key now, it's going to save it, and you're going to be back to your terminal, because remember I pressed Ctrl X to exit. But if I just wanted to, save my work, I can just edit. Let's edit that and say this is cool. And now I press Ctrl O, and this screen comes again, and I press enter, and it just saved, and I'm back in Nano. It will also tell you how long your file is. So that actually just means that the last thing you did, which is this write out function, worked, and it effectively saved the file with 11 lines to the disk. Alright, so now I can press Ctrl X, and because there are no changes, it will exit right away. Let's say you want to edit a new file, so you want to create the file and edit. Actually, you're gonna do the same thing like test2. I can tell you that test2 does not exist, and it's not gonna create the file with an empty content. It's only gonna do that when you will use the write out function or exit and save your changes. So if I press enter now, well, I have an advanced terminal telling me, I think you probably meant that thing here, so why did you put it 2? But no, I'm gonna say, no, I don't want you to correct that. I really meant test2. And now I have you know, an empty file, and I can start typing things. This is even cooler, and I can press Ctrl O again. It's gonna default to the file name I use when I open Nano. Alright, I don't know if you saw that, but you know, here on the right, at the top right, you can see it says modified, and this also tells you that you have unsaved changes. It's not able to see that I like kind of undid my changes, so it's gonna say modified even though there aren't really any difference with the version I just saved. But let's save it again for the sake of it, and now I can exit. And if I look for the file test2.sh, there will actually be one. And you can see basically this is the -L option of ls, which gives you a little bit more information. This is basically the access rights. I'm not gonna cover that now. This is the user that has rights on this file, which is the owner of the file. This is the group this user belongs to. It just happens to be the same right now. And this is the date. This is the time, and of course the file name. Now let's say I want to copy that file. So I have test2, I want to have maybe test3. Again, I have an advanced terminal asking me, do you really mean test3? Yes, so don't correct it. I press N. And now if I look at the content of test2 and test3, you can see, well, it doesn't tell you which is which, but I know that in test2 I wrote this line. So this is the line that belongs to this file, and this is the line that belongs to that one. Alright, you can also copy this file to a directory. So, you know, you could do that. Sorry. But, you know, the terminal is, the command copy is smart. And so if you say, let's copy it to documents, which happens to be a folder, you can, the trailing slash is optional. A slash, in this case, it will indicate that it's a folder, but again, the copy command is smart enough to figure that out, because you can have a file named documents and the folder named documents at the same place on your disk. If I do that now, oh, again, I don't know my directories. Apparently my documents directory is named with a capital D. Why it tells me that is that here there's actually a difference on a Linux system or Unix system in general, or as in a OS X, for instance. These file systems are case sensitive, not like on Windows, for instance, which is case insensitive. So this is different from this. So now I didn't meant documents with a small d, but with a capital D, so I'm gonna say yes, correct that. And what this just did is replace that command here with a command that has a capital D. And if I look in this documents directory, I will see that indeed I have this test2.sh file. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that I put the option of the ls command here. You know, this is kind of a best effort thing. You might find out that it works on a command, but it might not. And if you think this option really exists, then maybe you should try to put it here where options are usually written. So now let's say I want, first of all, let's verify that test2 still exists in the current directory. And yes, it does. Now let's say I want to move the test3 file. So move it there. Okay, and if I look in the current directory, this kind of already tells me something, but let's say I don't want to correct that. Well, the ls command is gonna print I cannot access test3.sh because there is no such file in the current directory. But this file is actually now there. Again, regarding auto-completion, if I now write test and press the tab key, you can see that I have my two files here and another one that I had before, an image of some sort. And voila, that's about today's tutorial. I hope you liked it and make sure to subscribe.